Do you even know why you feel bad the day after drinking alcohol? Well, class is now in session. Listen up and I'm gonna tell you why. And before we go further, realize it's not dehydration. Dehydration, it plays a small role, maybe 10, maybe 20% of the reason why you feel bad is because of dehydration. And just know, it can't explain everything. Whenever you drink alcohol, your vasopressin decreases, which in turn leads to an increase in urine production, which ultimately results in a little bit of mild dehydration. So yeah, you might be a little bit more thirsty, have a dry mouth, but really it's not until you get into moderate dehydration when you start feeling some of those real effects, like brain fog, a little bit of fatigue, and to a certain extent, weight loss. And moderate dehydration is considered losing 5% of your body weight. So for instance, I'm a 200-pound man, and that would be like me going out on a bar crawl and then waking up the next day 10 pounds lighter, which frankly, it's never happened to me, and it probably has never happened to you, but I could be wrong. The second biological process of alcohol metabolization deals with what alcohol actually converts into, which is something called acetaldehyde, and it happens to be 20 times more toxic than alcohol is itself. Through the enzyme ADH, your body converts alcohol into acetaldehyde. And if you're drinking more than one standard drink per hour, your body's gonna have a buildup of acetaldehyde, which can lead to a lot of negatives therein and the next morning. Then through the enzyme ALDH, your body converts that acetaldehyde into non-toxic acetate, which is ultimately just a non-toxic vinegar that you then pee out. Now, the third biological process of alcohol consumption is how it affects your brain. So whenever you drink alcohol, it binds to the GABA receptors in your brain, and that's what makes you feel so relaxed, carefree, generally good. However, when that alcohol then wears off, you're then left with the opposite. And you feel a lot of those next day psychological effects. You might be dead tired, but you can't sleep. You may be irritable. You may be restless. You may be feeling the exact opposite that you were feeling from the night before. So instead of being carefree, you're just overthinking everything. What did I do last night? So judging by this, it is clear that the main two reasons you feel bad the day after drinking is acetaldehyde exposure and then GABA rebound. But let's face it, if you're choosing to drink alcohol, you're going to be exposed to acetaldehyde one way or the other. And yes, you may want it because it helps you feel good in the moment, but you definitely don't want those next day feelings to creep up. How you can reduce some of those next day feelings is by taking Cheers Restore, because it has a patented combination on these two primary ingredients that really do the heavy lifting when it comes to dealing with GABA rebound and acetaldehyde exposure. So the L-cysteine in Cheers, whenever acetaldehyde is present, it will bind to acetaldehyde and form a non-toxic compound called MTCA, which effectively neutralizes and lowers those acetaldehyde levels. Thus, you're exposed to less toxins overall. And the DHM in Cheers can actually speed up the enzyme activity of ALDH, helping you clear that acetaldehyde out of your system faster. And on top of that, the DHM in Cheers also helps to buffer and reduce GABA rebound. So as I hit on, the alcohol binds to the GABA receptors. In DHM, it binds to those same receptors to effectively satiate that receptor and lessen that rebound the next day, where you're ultimately feeling more like yourself. And you don't have to go reaching for a Bloody Mary to pick yourself back up. So if we were to rank them from smallest factor to biggest factor in terms of how you feel the day after drinking, it would go dehydration as your third leading cause, acetaldehyde exposure as your second leading cause, and then GABA rebound as the main reason as to why you feel bad the day after drinking. How we know GABA rebound is the main reason you feel bad after drinking? If you wake up and drink more alcohol the next day and pick your BAC back up to where it was from the night before, you will immediately start feeling better, even though you're getting more dehydrated and exposing yourself to more acetaldehyde. And that's how we know that GABA rebound is the main reason you feel bad the day after drinking. It's why Bloody Marys are a thing, it's why mimosas are a thing, and it's why people get involved in a bad cycle of drinking to help themselves feel better the following day. So if you want to actually do something about those next day alcohol effects, you can just not drink. But if you're making the adult decision to drink, then make the adult decision to help yourself feel better the next day. All you do is take 3 capsules with or after your last drink of the night before going to bed so that the DHM and L-cysteine in Cheers can work their magic while you sleep. And along with that, we pack other liver supporting ingredients in there as well, like milk thistle and prickly pear, along with B vitamins that are commonly lost during alcohol consumption. And our claim to fame, if you don't feel like you had half as many drinks when you wake up the next morning, then you can get your money back without question. Since we went on Shark Tank back in 2018, we've sold over 40 million doses of this right here. We have nearly 1 million customers overall, backed by 1,000 clinicians, and in over 35,000 retail doors nationwide. So really, if you drink alcohol and you want to feel better the next day, it's kind of a no-brainer. Take Cheers so that you can support your liver and feel better the next day. Cheers.